Welcome to lesson number 4. We're talking about the Solfa scale. That's actually the major scale that we're going to learn today. We're going to learn the Curwen signs. So turn to page 53 of your book. And I actually just printed off a copy of this, but I just want to show you first of all, this is our, let me read that. This is my major scale book, and you can write their name here. So you can tear this out of the kids' books. They can tear it out themselves if you trust them. Make a copy of this one. You can make a copy because it's kind of important. Okay, what you're gonna do, I'm just gonna show you how to make a book. This is how you, it's great. This is how you make a book with one piece of paper. So you just fold it in half like this. Make sure there's lines, and then you fold it again. You're just gonna make it into 8 pieces. Okay. Now, then you can unfold it. This is kind of important. Well, let's go the other way now. Do I have to explain this? Just watch. And you just fold it. So basically, I have, it doesn't even matter which direction you fold what first. You just put it into 8 squares. Okay? And then see this dotted line down the middle? We want to cut that line so that there's nothing connecting those 4 pages together. So I just put it right here, and I'm just going to cut right on the dotted line. Okay? And so now I have this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of fold it over and kind of fold it like that. And then I'm going to squish it together. Do you see that? So that we now have pages that face each other. That may seem really confusing, but that's how we do it. Let me just show you one more time how I fold it. So it is, let's see, this. A hole in the middle. You're going to fold it over, and now you have a back and a front to every page. You're going to kind of squish this so it makes a mouth that closes, okay? And then you're going to squish them together. And it doesn't matter which one ends up on top. Like you might end up with this one on top. You're just going to, excuse me, turn the page until they all line up. And then here's your major scale book. This is actually pretty fun. I made a poster I would love to show you. I don't have it with me though. So the first one says, dough is a rabbit's home. What we're trying to learn is what the Curwen signs look like, so we know, we can recognize them, okay? So the first one is dough. Dough is the beginning, the bottom note of the scale. Dough, so we'll just do it. I'm just gonna show you here. Dough is a rabbit's home. Ray is climbing up. So just kind of going on a trip. Do, re, mi is a flat road, thank heaven. Fa is falling down. Turn the page. Sol is a cliff wall. Look at that cliff wall. It's gonna climb it. Cliff wall. Sol is a cliff wall. La is a pleasant hill. Turn the page. T says look up and just pointing up, and then that's the end of the book. But it doesn't matter because you can open up again and dough is a rabbit's home. So the first and the last note of your scale is a do. And they're actually the same. They're actually the same note. Do, do, just an octave higher. So there's that. That is the scale. What we want to do now is have our students sing it a bunch of times. So we pretty much sing a scale every single class at the beginning sometime. And I have a poster of this rabbit. He goes along and he has his little cliff wall, and it's kind of fun. So on page, students are turned to page 8, B2, and there is those Solfa signs. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to quiz them, and I'm going to say, okay, everybody, can you remember what this is called? Oh, it's the rabbit's hole, dough. So we're going to sing it a bunch of times. We're going to say, oh, that's the cliff wall, so we're going to sing it. They definitely need to sing it a bundle of times. Okay, that is the Solfa scale. Let me just see here, page 58. Oh, that's a rhythm thing. Let's do a rhythm review while we're here on this little lesson. So I'm going to be on page 58. You're going to be on page 9, or you can be on 58. There's a little ear there that says listen, so listen really carefully. This is actually a test, and it's really cool because kids are so excited if they can do this well. So actually, I want everybody to be on page 9 so you can't see the answers, okay? So go to page 9. I'm going to be on page 58. I'm going to give you a rhythm. you're going to touch the beat squares to a steady beat, and you're going to figure out, let's see, let me hide it. You're going to try to figure out what is in each beat. Is it a ta? Is it a titi? Is it a two? Those are your choices. And I would probably write them on the board. This is what a ta looks like. This is a titi. This is a two. And then they're going to try and figure out number one. And I clap it for them. I'll just do this. I clap it for them like 7 times, like a bunch of times, till I think they've got it. Okay, so I'll say 1. The first time, don't even write anything. Just think, like, where's the TT? There's definitely a TT in this one, okay? So 1, 2, touch the squares, go. Okay, did you hear a TT? Do you figure out where it was? And I'll do it again. I'll do it 7 times. I'm going to do it for you. Ready? I'll do it for you 3 times. So 1, 2. You have to touch the beats. If you're not teaching those beat squares, or if you're like touching the rhythm in the beat squares, don't do that. Just do 1 for every beat square. Okay? And then you can think that's where the TT was. One of them, actually 2 of them have a 2. 2 of them take up a 2. So there's going to be 2. So see if you can hear that too. So 1, 2, get ready, touch. Did you get it? The answer is a TT, ta, and a 2 in that order. Okay, let's try number 2. And the kids will be so excited. I got it, or I almost got it. And I'm like, you know, everybody just write in the real answer and we'll try another one. Okay, here's number 2. So you're going to touch those beat squares. This is such an important thing. You're going to feel the beat. See if you can find where the TT, actually, we're going to skip to number 3 because, so touch the squares in the 3rd line because number 2 is harder. So what I want you to do is listen to number 3 and see if you can get it. There's going to be tas and TTs. 1, 2, touch those squares, go. Did you get it? Let's try it again. I'm going to do it 3 times. And if you can write it down now. If you're not sure, listen for the TTs. See if you can find that. And then if you get it, then write it down and then touch it and say it with me and see if it works. Okay, so we're just going to double check. 1, 2, get ready, go. Last time. I'm going to say the answers as I do it this time. Ta, ti, 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 ta. So it should be a ta, ti, 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 ta. Okay, let's go back to number 2. Number 2 is hard. It's not really that hard, but it might be hard. So 1, there's a 2, and so it's going to take up 2 beat squares. And actually, the last time I did this, I just told my students, because they're kind of just starting, I said the 2 begins on the 2nd square. So I'm going to go back to my page 2, 3 here. I'm going to go like this. Let me just show you. On number 2, in those 2 middles, would you draw a 2? And then you try to figure out what's in the first square and the last square as I do it. So touch your beat squares. That's your job. 1, 2, get ready, go. Oh, I forgot to look at my page. I'm looking at your page. So get ready again. I'm going to go to 58. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, get ready, go. Did you get it? What was in the first square? Was it a TT or a ta? And then what was in the last square? Was it a TT or a ta? Let's try it. 1, 2, get ready, go. Okay, here's the answers. I'm going to clap it and say it. Titi, two, ta. Try it with me. Did you write it down? Titi, two, ta. Yeah, you're doing really well. Congratulations. I can tell you're doing well.